This is the only time a narcissist will realize the empath's value. Narcissists often struggle to recognize the true value of their victims due to the core traits of narcissistic personality disorder or narcissistic tendencies. These traits shape how they perceive others and prioritize their own needs above all else. Some of their core traits include a lack of empathy, self-centered perspective, idealization and devaluation cycle, insecurity and envy, objectification of others, cognitive dissonance, and a fear of losing control. Narcissists lack the ability to genuinely empathize with others, which makes it difficult for them to truly understand or appreciate the feelings, strengths, and contributions of their victims. Instead of seeing their victims as individuals with inherent value, they view them primarily as tools for fulfilling their own desires, because they have a self-centered perspective. They are excessively focused on their own needs, desires, and self-image. They see relationships in transactional terms. It's all about what the other person can do for them, which blinds them to the unique qualities or worth of others, as they only pay attention to what serves their personal agenda, and it causes them to engage in a cycle of idealizing and devaluing others, where in the idealization phase they may appear to value their victims, but this is superficial and conditional. So once the victim fails to meet the narcissist's unrealistic expectations or challenges the narcissist's behaviour, the narcissist devalues them and ignores or dismisses their positive traits and contributions. Because many narcissists harbour deep insecurities, by them recognizing your value, it might trigger feelings of inadequacy or envy. So to protect their fragile self-esteem, they have to diminish your worth to maintain a sense of superiority, which is not difficult for them to do because they lack empathy. So they're already objectifying you. They're viewing you as an extension of themselves, rather than as an independent individual with your own intrinsic value. And this objectification prevents them from appreciating your humanity and worth. Even though initially they may have viewed you as a good object, but at some point they have to take you off the pedestal, because continuously acknowledging your value could force the narcissist to confront their own abusive or exploitative behaviour, which would be a very uncomfortable reality for them. So to avoid this, they will downplay or outright deny your worth, and it's typically out of a fear of losing control, because by them recognising your value, it might empower you, which could threaten the narcissist's control over the relationship. So by refusing to see or acknowledge your worth, they maintain dominance and control, which can be a frustrating and debilitating experience for you, as no matter what you do or how much you achieve, in an effort to get the narcissist to see your worth, it will be a losing battle. It will always be the struggle that seems certain to end in failure, regardless of how much you try. It will always be a failing effort or activity, because the problem lies with the narcissist, not with you or your worth. Their patterns of behaviour are deeply ingrained and rooted in their personality. So instead of trying to get them to see your worth, you should employ strategies that you can use to protect yourself, which may also shift the dynamics of the relationship. Some approaches may include setting boundaries, because narcissists respect strength more than they respect kindness or vulnerability. So by standing firm, you send the message that you value yourself, which can sometimes cause them to view you in a better light. You can also stop over-accommodating, because they thrive on people-pleasing. So if you constantly cater to their needs, they may take your efforts for granted. So instead, focus on meeting your own needs and showing them that you're not always available for their demands. Communicate assertively. Use clear, direct communication to express your needs and feelings. Avoid emotional outbursts, as narcissists often use these against you. Instead, calmly and confidently state your position. You can leverage their self-interest, because narcissists are motivated by what benefits them. So if you frame requests or behaviours in a way that aligns with their self-interest and connects to their reputation or image, then you are far more likely to be acknowledged. But limit emotional dependence, because that is something they will often exploit. So instead, show emotional resilience and reduce reliance on them for validation, because by doing that you will take back some power in the relationship, which may also make them view you as stronger and more valuable. But remember that these are only strategies to protect yourself and not to get the narcissist to see your worth. The truth is that the narcissist may never fully see or appreciate your worth, because their worldview is too self-focused, and nothing you do is going to change them. No matter what you do, the narcissist will still fail to see your value, because of their fundamental inability to view relationships in a healthy reciprocal way. But there is a time when the narcissist will recognise your worth, and that is when they lose access to you, or when their own needs are no longer being met. But even then, they're not genuinely appreciating you. It's more about how the loss affects them personally. Narcissists thrive on control and attention. So when you emotionally or physically withdraw, by setting boundaries, focusing on yourself, or leaving the relationship, they may suddenly realise what they've lost. But this recognition is usually tied to their own discomfort, rather than a true understanding of your value. They may attempt to hoover you back by love bombing or making promises to change, because their supply has run out. They're no longer getting attention, admiration and validation from you, which is what they depend on to regulate their self-esteem. So when you stop fulfilling this role, and they can't immediately replace you, they might begin to recognise the role you played in their life. But keep in mind that this isn't a sign of genuine growth. It's merely a form of desperation to regain control, especially if you have managed to succeed without them. Because if they see you thriving after distancing yourself from them, they may suddenly see your worth. But again, this is through the lens of how your success reflects on them, or what they could have gained by staying connected to you. And this effect on them will be even more pronounced if they are currently enduring a personal crisis, because narcissists often experience moments of vulnerability during career failure, financial trouble, or health issues. So in these moments they might recognise the stability and support you provided. But this realisation fades very quickly once they've regained control of the situation, or once they've regained control of you, because their sense of power depends on controlling others. If they see you becoming independent, confident, and no longer needing their approval, they might start to see you as valuable. But this is largely because they feel threatened or envious of your newfound strength. And as soon as they have regained control over you, they will revert back to their old patterns of behaviour, which will include devaluing you and taking you for granted. This happens because their recognition of your worth wasn't genuine in the first place. It was primarily a reaction to losing control, or fearing the loss of their narcissistic supply, because their need for control outweighs any genuine appreciation of your value. Once they feel they've regained control over you, their focus shifts back to using you to meet their needs, not acknowledging your worth. Which means that they will never acknowledge your worth as long as you are with them. And even when you leave, their appreciation for you is not genuine. It's just their reaction to losing control and their fear of losing their supply. And this is why they do not change easily, because they operate from deeply ingrained personality traits, such as entitlement, lack of empathy, and self-centeredness. These traits make it difficult for them to maintain genuine appreciation for you over time. So any temporary recognition of your value is likely to fade as their underlying patterns reassert themselves, because once they feel secure in their control over you, they will return to devaluing you. It allows them to maintain a sense of superiority and avoid the discomfort of seeing you as an equal or someone they depend on. So they will repeat the idealization and devaluation cycle. They will idealize you when they fear losing you. But once they feel secure again, they will devalue you to keep you in a submissive or dependent role. So when the narcissist regains control and you stay in the relationship, you will find yourself back in the same painful patterns of being undervalued and emotionally manipulated. And this cycle can be exhausting and damaging to your self-esteem, which is why you must break free of the cycle by prioritizing your self-worth and boundaries. Because narcissists rarely change without significant, sustained effort, which most resist. So instead of trying to make them see your value, focus on recognizing it in yourself. Surround yourself with people who appreciate and respect you, because while the only time the narcissist will value you is when you're not there, empaths tend to value narcissists most when they are present in their lives. This dynamic stems from the natural tendencies of empaths and how these align with the manipulative behaviours of narcissists, because empaths are givers by nature. Empaths are highly attuned to the emotions and needs of others. So when the narcissist is present, the empath feels a sense of responsibility to heal, fix or support them, especially during moments when the narcissist displays vulnerability or charm. Narcissists can be incredibly charming and engaging, especially during the idealization phase of the relationship. And this creates a strong emotional attachment for the empath, who feels validated by the attention and affection the narcissist gives during these moments. So empaths are invested in the relationship. Empaths are naturally empathetic and nurturing, so they will feel deeply committed to the relationship and hold on to the hope that their love and care can help the narcissist change. This belief intensifies when the narcissist is present and engaging with them, because the empath seeks connection. When the narcissist is physically or emotionally present, the empath focuses on maintaining connection and harmony. This is often because empaths derive fulfillment from helping others and feeling needed, which the narcissist frequently exploits. And this has a huge contrast with the narcissist perspective, because narcissists value what they can't have. The narcissist thrives on control and the thrill of winning people back that they feel are slipping away. They devalue others when they feel secure in the relationship, because they experience panic or desperation when they lose their source of supply. But the narcissist's tendency to idealize and devalue creates a cycle of emotional highs and lows. For empaths, the highs when the narcissist is present and affectionate can feel deeply rewarding, which then reinforces their attachment to the narcissist. So you just need to be mindful of this dynamic. You need to recognize how it leads to one-sided relationships where your own needs are neglected. Because while it's natural for empaths to value connection and invest in relationships, it's crucial to recognize when the connection is being manipulated or taken advantage of. So recognize the pattern, set boundaries, shift your focus, and seek support. Because true healing comes when empaths prioritize themselves and seek relationships built on mutual respect, empathy, and understanding, which are qualities narcissists lack. But once you leave the narcissist and set boundaries, you can focus on healing and rediscovering your self-worth. Over time, as the emotional fog of manipulation clears, you will realize how one-sided and damaging the relationship was, because healing involves self-reflection, therapy, and learning to prioritize healthy reciprocal relationships. You may initially feel guilt or sadness, but these feelings will soon fade away as you recognise that you were never truly valued for who you are, but rather for what you provided, the support, care and validation. But once you heal and rebuild your confidence, you will move forward. You will forget or feel indifferent towards the narcissist, and you will learn a lesson. It will teach you about your own boundaries, self-worth, and the importance of mutual respect in relationships. Because the narcissist never truly valued or respected you, they were more attached to control and the narcissistic supply that you provided rather than to you as a person. So when that supply is gone, they will feel a profound sense of loss. Not because they care deeply, but because they miss what you did for them. They will idealise you once you are gone. They will suddenly see the value in you, but only because they no longer have access to the care, attention or admiration that they once took for granted, and they will struggle to replace you. They will frequently seek new sources of supply. But as an empath, you provided a unique level of care and understanding that is hard to replace, which will leave the narcissist feeling frustrated and regretful. Which is why they will hold on and attempt to reconnect. They will hoover you. They will attempt to draw you back into the relationship with promises of change or by triggering guilt. But this is just a way to regain control, rather than a sign of genuine growth or love. So it is the empath who wins after the breakup. You win through healing, by prioritising your well-being, learning from the experience and moving on. Because you will thrive in ways that you couldn't while you were entangled with the narcissist. And over time you will realise you're better off without the toxicity. While the narcissist will remain stuck, because they rarely experience genuine growth or emotional healing. They lack the self-awareness or willingness to confront their behaviour. So instead they will cycle through new relationships repeating the same patterns, while they might idealise you and feel a sense of loss. But this is rooted in their ego and not true emotional connection, because that is something a narcissist will never be able to experience. But by focusing on healing, you will move on and forget the narcissist, while they remain emotionally attached, frustrated and nostalgic about what they lost. Your growth ultimately leaves the narcissist behind, stuck in the same patterns that drove the relationship to its breaking point. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Share your thoughts in the comment section. Hit the subscribe button to receive the notifications. If you would like to support the channel, you can donate at paypal.me/Narc Survivor. You could book a one-on-one with me on my website. It's narcsurvivor.co.uk. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.